The Cowboys made a huge mistake waiting to this point. I think the tag, is going to be sort of that placeholder move before they decide what to do. Do they sign him long term? Do you sign and trade him somewhere else? But it really is unfortunate. It's funny. Well, not funny for Dak because he was injured, but it is interesting that he was injured most of the season and his value went up because we were able to see just how valuable Dak Prescott was to the Cowboys. So, we're going to get some movement, but is it the long-term deal that Dak is hoping for? We'll see. Time will tell. We've been waiting for this for several years.
Kimberly A. Martin, what did you make of the Cam Newton camp situation?
And then they trade for Carson Wentz. So you got his two closest confidants and then Wentz. And then Mike said a ton of pressure for the Colts to produce. You think there is no pressure on this triumvirate right now?
Not to the pressure that Mike T is talking about. There's pressure to win because you traded for him. You want to win. This is a Super Bowl ready type team. They built this team for Andrew Luck several years ago. They passed it off to Jacoby Brissett. They retooled the offensive line, going out and getting guys like Quentin Nelson, just shoring the things up. Then all of a sudden they bring in a veteran in Phillip Rivers. We saw what Phillip Rivers was able to do. Lead them into the playoffs, close game up in Buffalo. They didn't quite get it done. He retires. Now they go out and get Carson Wentz because they have an established defense that can play. They got a bunch of young nucleus guys on the offensive side of the ball, whether it's Michael Pittman Jr., Jonathan Taylor. They can bring back T.Y. Hilton. If they decide not to bring back T.Y. Hilton, go out and get another receiver to pair with those guys that are there. This team is built. Julian Blackmon in the back end. I mean, when you just start Darius Leonard at the linebacker, when you start just looking at it, this team is ready to go. And if Carson Wentz could play halfway as well as he played under Frank Reich when he was in Philadelphia with them, that's saying something. This is not a tough division. You got the Tennessee Titans and who?
Depends on what Houston has, right? That's the big thing.
You have the Tennessee Titans and who? Because the quarterback, Jay, in Houston ain't going back. So if the quarterback in Houston ain't going back, what they going to be stuck with? Tom Savage again? I mean, like, come on. And then when you think about Jacksonville, I get it. Trevor Lawrence, oh, my God, the greatest guy in the world. I understand that. He's yet to step on campus and take a snap underneath the center in the Jacksonville Jaguars organization. So right now, they have nothing. You got one team, Tennessee. And are you afraid of Tennessee if you Indianapolis?
Well, so I think that kind of answers my question for me, Key. Like, if there's one team, then I definitely think this puts pressure on the Colts. There's more pressure, I feel like, on Frank Reich and his job, right? Ultimately, because he's the one that says, I can fix it. Now, you go back to the numbers that Carson Wentz had in 2017. I mean, QBR number one. Before we had Patrick Mahomes, it feels like Carson Wentz was positioned to be one of the youngest faces for the league. I mean, with the season that he was having before he tore his ACL in LA, like he was positioned to be one of the faces. If that's happening underneath Frank Reich's regime, now Frank Reich has taken the opportunity by saying, hey, I'm going to put my job on the line that I can fix it. Considering being from one of the best QBs to one of the worst years he's had last year, can he fix it? That's an indictment on Frank Reich if he can get the job done.
Even if Frank Reich is in the plus category already, all he needs to do is so bad last year, just give me a tick up with the quarterback, a tick up. If he let's assume worst case scenario he stays the same. That ain't Carson. That ain't Frank Reich. That's the player because he done moved to another spot doing the same thing.
Confirmation of damaged goods.
I can sell that, right? Mm-hmm. Well, you can have him now. I don't want him anymore. We tried to fix him. Still the same guy. We got to move on from him.
We're asking this morning, best case, worst case scenario for your team. And on the tip of Carson Wentz's old team, Mike is in South Philly joining us this morning on ESPN Radio. Mike?
Hey, guys.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, I'm South Jersey, not South Philly.
What's the difference?
Tell him. That's right. Tell him.
What's the difference?
I'm on the beach.
Oh. Brown water.
All right, well, anyway.
It's not brown water in South Jersey. Stop doing that to us, Key.
No, ahead, I'm in the ocean. I'm down in Cape May, down in the ocean.
Gotcha. Right at the tip of New Jersey. What's on the tip of your mind?
My mind is Jalen Hurts. Best case scenario, he does what he's supposed to do. And when I say what he's supposed to do, we're not looking to play Tom Brady in the NFC Championship next year. Let's go 7-9, 8-8. Relax. Not to quote that idiot Rodgers guy, but listen to me. He's been in competition since he got to college. He lost out in LA. He had to fight for his claim to fame, Oklahoma. We gave him the keys. Relax. I watched the Super Bowl, and my biggest fear was this kid, who's so great, to run around like Patrick Mahomes was and get himself hurt. That would be the worst case scenario. Take the pressure off yourself. You already got the keys to the dealership. You can drive the cars, but relax. No accidents. No accidents this year. That's my biggest fear, that he gets himself hurt trying to prove to the world that he deserves this. He deserves it. He's got it. Just watch his tape.
Gotcha.
All right.
Thank you, Mike. Mike in South Jersey, definitely Jay is a South Jersey accent. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about that. Willie in Mississippi. Go ahead. You're on the Eagles beat too. What you got?
Oh, what's going on, guys?
What up?
What's up, Willie?
Oh, another day. Best case scenario, Jalen Hurts turned out to be the real deal. Wins Philadelphia their next Super Bowl. Worst case scenario, Jalen Hurts turns out to be trash. Carson Wentz goes on to win the Colts a Super Bowl.
Extremes.
I don't think Jalen Hurts winning the Super Bowl no time soon. I mean, Philadelphia's got a lot of issues other than Jalen Hurts. I would say Carson Wentz is closer with Indianapolis's makeup of getting to the Super Bowl. Who gets to the Super Bowl faster, the Philadelphia Eagles or the Indianapolis Colts?
Sounds like a poll question.
Exactly. And you know who's sitting there watching it all happen once the Colts do get to the Super Bowl, if they get there sooner than later? Howie Roseman. Just sitting there watching it. It just goes back to Jeff Lurie and Howie Roseman. I mean, that's why I said this is a monumental failure on a franchise for the way everything's broken down.
I don't know. I don't know what they're trying. Look, I don't know what they're looking to do. I don't know what their grand scheme, their plan, overall, where they want to be. I don't know. We would have to ask Howie Roseman. We should get him on and ask him, what is the plan long term? What are you trying to do? Are we rebuilding? Are we drafting quarterbacks at 6? Like, what is it that we're trying to do? Don't run from it. Don't say you're too busy to come on with us. I'm inviting you to come on with us when we reach out to you. Because I would like to know what is the long-term plan in play in Philadelphia other than them booing Santa Claus eventually again.
Yes. The long-term play was Carson Wentz up until the very second he wasn't. That's the issue, right? They completely supported him. He got hurt. Foles won the Super Bowl. They gave him his job back. They got rid of Foles. Hurts came in. They essentially still said, we still wanted to keep you. It was Wentz's dissatisfaction with the organization that really was the impetus for the trade. If you think about it, they were all in on Wentz until the very second they weren't. And that has put them, as Jay said, Howie Roseman and his boss owner, Jeffrey Lurie, in an incredibly difficult bind. On the way, so we got Stafford gone, we got Goff gone, we got Wentz gone. So why haven't the Texans traded Deshaun Watson yet? And are they really resolute in saying he's absolutely not available? The answer from our NFL Insights.
Because, I felt like the Indianapolis Colts were the best fit for him. As you mentioned, with the Frank Reich connection, he had his best season with Frank Reich as his offensive coordinator. But the Colts are a pretty complete team. Even before they got Philip Rivers, it was like this team is a QB away from being a contender and potential Super Bowl favorite, let's say. And then they fell short with Philip Rivers. Carson Wentz has the perfect situation where he has complementary pieces. If his gripe is, well, we didn't have a lot in Philly, or the coaching staff, there was issues there. He's got the coaches, he's got the defense, he's got a running game, he's got weapons. So if it doesn't work here in Indy, I don't know where it works, and I don't know how he turns his career around.
What would an offseason be, Kimberly, without the OBJ drama? It wouldn't be an NFL offseason. So now we got a little bit of drama
would not be
with
covering the
OBJ.
NFL.
Yes, we got a little bit of drama with OBJ potentially moving on from Cleveland. A lot of people are pointing in the direction of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you think, and do you think this could potentially happen?
Do I think it happened after seeing what Tampa did, going all in? We're gonna get Brady, Gronk out of retirement.